Hi everyone, Crazy Tank in here. I would like to welcome you all very frankly in another video on my channel. And in today's episode I will show you how to play the Lorraine 40t on the Prochorowka map. However, before we move on to the battlefield itself, I must talk about a few things related to this tank, namely the crew, equipment and field upgrades. As well as you see, this is how all the perks looks like on my commander, both on the gunner and on this driver mechanic. In terms of equipment, here I have improved aiming, optics and the stabilizer on the first slot, and on the second slot improved aiming, ventilation and stabilizer. And this is what the field upgrades on this tank looks like. Here we have left, right, left. And now let's move on to the topic of today's episode. We are already in our first battle. As you can see, I have a draw with 8s, 7s and 6. And now someone could say, why am I showing you such a battle at all? And that's because regardless of whether I would play it on 10s of 9s or in such a draw where are the 7s and 6 tiers that are lower than me, there were so many interesting moves here that I wanted to show you, and because of that I think you will learn a lot from it. And even though I will only show you one battle today, I still think that you will learn much more from this one than if I showed you a few others. Because I think this one is worth showing and what is happening here, and there will be quite a lot of it. Now the first important moment, this Type 58 leaned out so much that he wanted to give me a light to one of my allied tanks. Well, I think he managed to do it. Luckily he didn't detect me, because these bushes right there, which are on my left, as you can see, they covered me, gave me partial camouflage, and thanks to that he didn't give me the light. Seeing that I have some tanks in the forest, unfortunately we don't have any light that could spot what's going on there. Only the Tiger P passed across this forest so much, just for detecting a couple of tanks for a moment, which are on the opposite side. It would be a bit pointless, even though we are now losing 0 to 1. At such a moment it is not worth sacrificing our machines so much. I changed the side. I am now playing on the left, because I can see what is happening on the minimap. I am watching it all the time, and I had a great opportunity where I made the maneuver driving from the center more to the left, in order to spot the Burask who was very close to the edge of the map, which gave me the information that okay, he's definitely high enough that I can easily find a shot at him. And as you saw, he was detected and showed the whole seal hatch. Now another important moment is Achilles. I chose him, and that's because he was fully extended, which allowed me to fire a few shots at him. And if I tried to shoot at any of these other tanks, such as this Eagle or for example this KV-1S, well, then I probably wouldn't have succeeded because they are behind the hill and I would have fired a maximum of one shot here. You saw now I fired at this KV-1S, it was nicely advanced. There was no stabilization here, the same in this Eagle. This shot could have penetrated. Unfortunately it hit somewhere in the area of the mantlet or the front of the hill. This shot could have penetrated. Unfortunately it hit somewhere in the area of the mantlet or the front of the hull, even though I don't know it. After firing all these shots I retreat, so as to disappear from the light bulb and to be able to lean out again in a moment. This Tiger 131 is playing very good at this gameplay. He constantly highlights us under the tanks that are on the hill. It is a bit of threat, but a much bigger threat now is Cromwell B, which is driving into a depression in sector E2 and can cause a lot of confusion there. This is the tank that is perfect for spotting, and unfortunately we don't have any such tank like that anymore, so there is no, we don't care who to spot this forest for now. And we are also losing this battle 1 to 3, so things really can get messy here. I knew that. I didn't want to lose this battle because the draw is with such a low tiers, and it would be nice to have as many as possible damage in here to increase the chance of winning this battle. However, the matter is getting more complicated and the battle is looking more and more worse. Now I lean out to see if I can find a bit for this Tiger 131. Although unfortunately I can't do anything to the towers, so I focus instead of the tanks that are on the hill. This shot may have missed, however, it landed perfectly in the middle, the crosshair, so he hit it in the extreme part of the turret, the mantlet where it could also bounce. But now I'm still holding these two shells, because I know that these tanks are leaning out all the time, so I'll have at least one more opportunity to shoot. And this is the KV-1S. I managed to break half of the track and cause some damage. I thought that with this second shot I would finish it. Unfortunately, I was a bit lucky and the shot either bounced or simply missed, and this KV-1S managed to retreat to the place where it was before. I'm also watching all the time the minimap, and I see that the IS-3 is also the only tank on this hill that highlights the opposing side, such as the Eagle or the KV-1S. I reloaded the magazine. At the time I fired another shot and I thought that this one had already entered because it flew perfectly into the tower and apparently bounced. I have 230 mm of penetration here on this tank, which allows me to play practically only with standard ammunition. In my opinion, there is no point in that to loading APCRs, because this tank will cope perfectly even with higher tiers, so penetration is completely enough, and in most situations we will be shooting from the side to some tanks, and we are not going to face some higher heavy tanks from the rear and fight them from the front. It's not the style of this tank, especially with such accuracy. We won't always hit some smaller weak spots, so this penetration is completely enough, and the speed could help here too. Now there is an opportunity to shoot at this Tiger 1. I fired 3 shots at the first. Unfortunately, there was no stabilization. The next 2 are now entering the hole calmly, and it's very nice because we managed to finish it somehow. We even out the result of this battle. For now it's 3-6, and the situation is still ours. Is at the disadvantage in terms of HP, and the opposing team has more of it. But we can't give up because there is always a chance to win. I have another 4 bullets reloaded, and now I will be able to try again to somehow lean under this Tiger, or if the IS-3 will also split out those tanks that are on the hill. And now I will be able to try again to somehow lean under this Tiger, or if this IS-3 will also split out those tanks that are on the hill, then I will also have another opportunity to shoot. And right now there is a bit of one. I took a risk by taking this shot from the Czech TD, but I managed to finish this T25AT, which in my opinion is very important because we finished the barrels and tried to last as long as possible. Stay alive, and it's lucky that our forest didn't fall, because if we lose it, we lose the whole battle. Unfortunately, in most situations it ends like this, and the battle ends very quickly. And here it is very important that several tanks are playing in the middle. He simply controls what is happening, and this Cromwell B, even though he will spot our tanks from the middle, at least thanks to the fact that there is no artillery, we are relatively safe here. We managed to finish this Arl. Another important moment, the Skoda T56 leans very much. I wanted to finish it with a shot at the hole here. Unfortunately, he was already facing forward. If I had finished him, and this is a very important goal, then I would have increased the chance of winning. Unfortunately, it cost me a lot. I lost a lot of HP and I couldn't finish it. Another shot from this KV-1S from the hill, which is carrying a howitzer in this battle, a shot for 520 damage, hurt me a lot. Unfortunately, because it took quite a lot of HP from me, and now I am only 1 shot away, so I have to be careful right away. As you saw, after firing the shots, I decided to retreat. It is very extreme to my side, so that I can disappear from the light, and so that no tank can accidentally hit me from the hill, or maybe from the forest. This Czech TD is shooting here all the time, and you also have to be careful with him. Now he shot at my T29. Luckily he didn't penetrate him. Well, now I was thinking about such a maneuver that since I have 1 shot left, it would be nice to retreat to the forest, to the sector A2. Because from there, from the recess, you will be able to do a lot. Especially since we don't know what the situation looks like on the hill, on the left side, and how much this IS-3 lost his HP. it is unknown for us how long will it stay there. Now I got the light bulb, and I was a bit afraid of the tanks from the middle. I didn't expect that the Cromwell B would be the first to give me this, and because of that I moved forward to this rock. I was a bit lucky. Took the shot in the tracks without taking any damage. This Cromwell B was finished. I didn't aim precisely, but fortunately I managed to finish it. And now there is no tank that would spot the forest. So I finished off quite an important target, and now I'm standing. I'm trying to do some again. I see what's going on the left side. Tanks like these T-29 or Eagle have finished my IS-3. And I am also playing here in the place where I am next to this embankment from the tracks or on it. Unfortunately, I am an easy target, so I can't stand here for too long. These bushes, fortunately, after firing these shots, they gave me the camouflage, and thanks to this, I was able to finish this Skoda and fire 2 shots at this IS-2S. And now I finished this Skoda, I can retreat to the forest, being as close to the border as possible. I also have to remember about it. I still have some time before this T-29 or this Eagle arrives, so I use it to simply go to a better place where I can do even more and even get a light bulb. Because if only I get spot, I die immediately, because I'm only 1 shot away. I reloaded another magazine at the same time, and I managed to take place where I wanted to take over a minute ago. Only now I managed to do it. But the situations that happened earlier while observing the minimap made it difficult, that I also had to perform some other maneuvers to somehow improve the situation, because it doesn't look too good anyway. And with such moves I give myself more time to extend the battle and just to get the most out of it. The only tank that will now spot the center of this map is T-29. If he dies, we will already lose this battle, because this Achilles won't probably spot the forest for us, and this T-29 is my only hope. At this point I'm trying to enter these bushes so as to give a light bulb to this Eagle or this enemy T-29. Well, unfortunately I guess my T-29 from the team only gives them a light bulb. I can't detect the enemies from here. After firing a shot at this T-29, they already get it, and only our T-29 from a team gives them a light after they fire a shot. Now I fired 2 shots at the turrets. I managed to penetrate it nicely. I have almost 5k on it. I still have 1 bullet left. I decided to charge it because I know I will still be able to return this 1 magazine, and those tanks are still sitting in that pit. So there is still a chance that I will do some damage to them. Now my T-29 is constantly highlighting it. What is happening in the middle, especially this type 58? Well, I managed to reload another magazine. There are still 5 tanks left, and we have less than 2 minutes of this battle. Now I'm forced to play in this place. Unfortunately I can't do much, so as you saw, those tanks are not detected by me, just T-29 did it. Now these 2 tanks appear, fired 1 shot for the first at this Emil and the second one on this Czech TD. Unfortunately I don't get through. It's a pity. Now someone might ask why I shoot both tanks and not, for example, focusing only on one. Because even if I finish this Czech TD and trying to hide from this Emil 1, which fired 2 shots from his magazine, I wouldn't be able to escape here. And we don't know where the IS-2S is. And I had it in the back of my mind all the time that he could leave me somewhere in the forest at any time, or even shoot from the distance. Then I wouldn't have done anything at all. Unfortunately we lost this battle. The score was 10-15. As you saw, there was a lot of going in here, a lot of interesting moves. I managed to make it in a such fairly standard draw as much as 6k damage. It wasn't enough to win this battle because most of the tanks lost more than half of their HP. Or at least among those who were left, this battle could have even been a draw or war, the chances of winning would have been increased even more if, for example, I had not made this mistake and not leaned so much towards this Skoda, and then it had not taken 700 or 800 damage unnecessarily, and then it would have been different. So this is what today's battle looked like. If you like it, you can leave a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more such battles or guides from the series how to play a tank on a given map, you can subscribe this channel so that you can stay up to the date for the next videos. That's it for today, so I say goodbye to you, see you soon.